I just found out that I'm a patriot. I didn't know I was a patriot. All my life, I didn't know I was a patriot. But I am. And I found out during the Republican National Convention a few weeks ago. The White House was used by the president as a backdrop, like a set, like a movie set, TV set, for his political campaign. He's running for the second term in office. Now, it's true, it was built by slaves. I mean, yeah, it's very true that the cooks and servants, many of whom, most of whom I would say are black, have been serving presidents ever since the White House began. It's very true that there are black guards there. It's very true that the Capitol, Washington, D.C., was designed by a black man. But that's not what got me the most. I mean, I thought it was pretty uncool to be using that building as a backdrop for a political campaign. But that's not what really got me the most. What really got me the most was when this president shot all kinds of fireworks, kind that we see on the 4th of July, around the Washington Monument, and put his name in bright lights on the National Mall. He put his name, Trump 2020, on the National Mall. These lights went up across the sky. And our National Mall was used as a backdrop for his name. And these bright lights around the Washington Monument were used to illuminate the fact that he was running, expected to be elected again as president. I had no idea it was going to get to me like it did. Now, the national the lawn, the National Mall is a very special place for me. Um, I mean, the trees that they have at Christmas time was always a favorite. I used to love to see them. That's lovely. But there's a Vietnam Memorial on the National Mall. And Vietnam, the war in Vietnam is still has such a pain in my heart, and still I haven't healed from it. I better get myself together. Anyway, there are two monuments there. There's realistic statues of the soldiers, and then there's this huge stone, I guess marble piece that when you stand in front of it, your own image is reflected on it. So it's kind of like a mirror. And all of the names of people who died in soldiers who died in Vietnam are carved in there. Now, when I first saw pictures of the monument and when people were competing to build the monument, I had various feelings about it. And after it was built, I was curious, and I went to Washington many times, but I couldn't get up the nerve to go to the monument. But one day I did. One day I went. And there was this, I guess, veteran who was acting as a guard around the mine, or um, I don't mean a guard, I mean a guide to people who were looking at the monument, and he saw me. I guess he could detect from my body language that I was about to faint. That it was overwhelming, and he came up to me and he asked me if he could help me, and I said, "Well, I'm looking for the name of a friend." And he helped me find the name, and he took one of the pamphlets and asked me if it was okay if he rubbed the name of my friend on the pamphlet, and I said sure. And the whole his just his everything. It was just such a moment. I can't even really describe it. But when he rubbed the name of my friend and he handed me the paper, and I felt like I had been given something very sacred. And he kind of walked with me back over to my cousin who was waiting for me. And I guess when he saw I wasn't going to pass out and I was kind of like getting myself together, he left. So for a presidential candidate or a president or a king or a queen or anybody to use this as a backdrop for their name, and then there was the Washington Monument. He had these lights sparkling all around. Like I said, I did not know I was a patriot, but he was the first president of the United States. I'm an American. I didn't realize how much of an American I was till I saw those lights around the Washington Monument. I was there the day before Barack Obama was inaugurated. I was standing on that hill right next to that monument. And the feelings inside of me that day, I could write a whole book just about the feelings inside of me the day before he was inaugurated. But as I stood next to that Washington Monument and I looked across the mall and I looked at the buildings, I was so overwhelmed. I was so grateful that we just got finished electing Barack Obama. I stood there grateful that I had participated in that. Grateful that I was able to stand up and witness all of these people. Oh, all kinds of people. Just America, just human beings, happy, and such a beautiful sunny day, and we were just walking around Washington. And of course, I remembered the March on Washington, which I was there that day when all of those people who became very famous, well, they were famous then. One of them was Martin Luther King, and they've been misquoting him ever since. But still, the joy of that day I felt. And when I saw these lights going up around that Washington Memorial, I was outraged. I don't know why I didn't throw up. But that's when I realized that I am a patriot.